1. 002 is also there. Done. So I'll go for T001. So material group is equal to what? T001. What is the table? T023. Done. Metal group is done. Here also I have to set it to X now. So in this particular parameter, what is this? Client data X type what? BAPI underscore RX. Here also we have filled what? Material group. So let me try to set that. Equal to what? X. That's all now. So let's see whether this material is created or not. So while calling this BAPI function model, what are the fields I am passing? One is material header data. Material header data is what? Material number, industry sector, material type. Okay. Then I am passing this client data, nothing but what? Base rate of measure, material group, all those things. Okay. And I am passing what? Material description. So when I execute, what is the material we are trying to create? 1030 mat 3. So 1030 mat 3. Execute this. Oh. Oh, sorry. The value T0 is not allowed. Good. We got the error because we gave what? Invalid material group, which is not configured in the SAP system. Understood? This material group is not configured in the SAP system. That's why we got what? Error. So let me correct it. So I gave T001. It should be what? Only what? 001. It's a character of 4. Execute. Good. I got what? Success. Type is this. What is that? The material 1030 mat has been created or what? Extended. So let me go and check the tables. This is my Mara table. How many entries? 129. Earlier what? 128. So it might be inserted now. What is the material number? 1030 mat 3. Yeah, 1030 mat 3. Today's date user. Finished product. Pharmaceuticals. Material group is what? 001. And I gave the base rate of measure as what? Centimeter. Understood? Centimeter. Done. It is there in this table. What is the other table? MAKT. Na? So this is my MAKT table. Number of entries are 223. Earlier was 221. Why 2? I maintained 2 descriptions. What is the material number? 1030 mat 3. And I execute. Yes. One is in German, another is what? English. Am I clear? Then I'll go to what is the other table we have? Plant. But for this material, we have not entered any plant data. Even though we have material number here, okay, if I go to number of entries, 866. Earlier also what? It means it is not inserted in this table. What is that? 1030 mat 3. Is it there? No, because for this material, I have not passed what? Plant data. So when you are practicing, what you do is use the same BAPI. I consider what parameters? Header data, client data X. You also pass what? Plant data. Understood? If you pass storage data, you'll go and sit in what table? MARD table. Understood? So depending on the data you pass, data will go and sit in what? Relevant tables. Actually, what you have to do is, what is the approach I followed first? I first passed what? Mandate it is not working, I got some error. What is the error I got first? Description not maintained. Then I have analyzed the parameter which is carrying the description. I prepared the interpreter, I passed it. Then I got a different error. What is that? Base rate of measure is not maintained. So again I have analyzed and we understood that these are the parameters which is carrying what? Base rate of measure. We passed it. Again we got there saying that material group is what? Not maintained. Again we have passed what? Material group. Okay. So that is the approach I followed. But what you have to do is here. Whenever a BAPI is given to you, whenever you want to use any BAPI, check whether the BAPI has got any documentation. Okay, so what you have to do, choose what? Go to documentation. If I go to documentation, yes, we have a big story here. We have to read this. Then only we understand how to use that particular BAPI. What they are saying is, see, you use this method to create what? New material master or change what? Existing material master. Okay, I'll do one thing. Already this material is there, na? 1030 mat 3 is there. I'll do one thing. Okay, if I execute this, what is the base rate of measure here? Centimeter. What is the material group here? 001. Okay, material group is 001 and base rate of measure is what? Centimeter. What I'll do is, again I'll try to pass the same material but with a different material group and different base rate of measure. So what I'll do, 001 cm is there. So what I'll do in my program is, the material group I'll pass what? 002. Okay, and this I'll pass it as what? Kg, and the ISO code for this is kgm. Go and check in what? T006 I table. Understood? So I can modify only the client data. I cannot modify the header data. This remains what? Same. This combination should remain what? Same. I can modify only the other optional parameters. So let me check whether it will modify that or not. What is the existing values? 001 and what? CM. Now when I execute, yeah, again I got what? Success has been created or what? Extended. Let me go and check the table. This is my Mara table. I'll refresh. Yes. Earlier 001, now I got what? 002 and what else? Centimeter got changed with what? So same BAPI is used for what? Both create and what? Change. Understood? If it is not there, it will create. If it is already there, it will modify. Okay, now see the documentation here. What is saying here? See, you can use this method to create new material master data or to change what? Existing material master data. The data on a material can be transferred for each call. When creating material master data, you must transfer what? Material number. Yes, we transfer material number. What else? Material type we have transferred. Then what? Industry sector we have transferred. You must also enter what? Material description and language. See, that's what. See, if you go by the signature, this is only what? Mandatory. But the description is what? Not mandatory. But the documentation is saying what? You must also enter what? Material description and its language. Understood? So go by what? Documentation. If you are unable to understand the documentation, try to do analysis by passing data for what? Different parameters. Yeah. Then when changing material master data, you need to enter only what? Material number. So it seems that I need not enter these fields also. When you are changing, I need not enter what? The other fields. Only this is sufficient. Only this is sufficient itself. Done. What else is I saying? Yeah. In the header data, you must select what? At least one view for which data is to be created. Depending on the view selected, you must maintain other required parameters. Good. If you do not enter values for all the required parameters, the method is ended with what? Error message. Yes, we got it. Then what else? The corresponding fields in the table, such as what? Client data must first be supplied with data by what? Calling program. An indicator must also be set for each of these fields so that the data is written to the database by the method. This requires the calling program to supply the corresponding field with the indicator in a checkbox table. For example, client data X. Check the okay checkbox table exists for table that okay done. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it. They're asking about material description and what? Language. Check what? Units of measure. Define what? Countries. All those things. So you have to read the documentation. Yeah, check units of what? Measurement. So is it clear? So if I click on this, what is this? Units of measurement. This is not required. Here we will maintain the units of measurement. Where it will go and sit? In T006 table. This is called as customization, which we do in the SPRO transaction code. Okay, done. So leave all this. So is this clear? How do we work with what? BAPIs? So your exercise now is directly I gave the data in the program now. So what you have to do? You take one notepad, text file or what? Excel file. What are the minimum things we require to create a material? Yes, material number. Material number. Next, industry sector. I'll give what? Pharmaceutical. Then what? Material type. Finished product. FART. Then description. Description. So I'll just give some description. Like this is 1030 Mat 4. Then base unit of measure. What is this? Kg. Okay. Again, one more thing here. This file might contain ISO codes or may not contain what? ISO codes. Okay. So this is your header data only, na? Header data. Now what you have to do is below 1030 Mat 4. Try to understand. 1030 Mat 4. 1030 Mat 4. This one. 1030 Mat 4. What is the other fields here? Language key. Huh? What is the language key? E. I'll give what? English and KG. Then what I'll do is, you may also have something like this. 1030 Mat 4. I'll give what? D. Means same material is how many times? 2 times. But with what? Different descriptions maintained in what? Different language. So for your understanding, just say this as what? In what? English. This is only for our understanding. Okay. This in what? German. So like this, you prepare what? A file. Actually, we will not prepare the file. A file will be given to us. Before using the BAPI, we have to analyze the file. What analysis we'll do? We'll understand what data is there in the file. We have to sit with the functional consultant. We need to understand what each field represents. We need to understand what are the base tables. One more thing you can do here. While practicing, you try to pass data for what? What? Plant data. I have not considered this. So plant data means in which table it is going to sit? MARC. Try for plant data. Similarly, try for what? Storage, location. Like this, different what? Parameters. So can you create this? Create this file just like yesterday's thing. I use some method. Now what is that? GUI upload. Get into temporary internal table. Loop that internal table. Split it based on what? Delimiter. You have to do all kind of what? ABAP logic and then do it. Done? I'll discuss this tomorrow. So see here, tomorrow what we'll do is, uh, yeah, if you take this what? Sales and distribution, we have what? Sales, okay, under sales we have what? Sales order. We have create from that one, create from that to all those things. If I double click on this, yeah, create what? Sales order. What is the T code behind this? VA01. VA01. What are the tables? VBAK and what? VBAP. So if you double click on this function model we can use for creating what? Sales order. So how do you proceed? You have to pass what? Mandatory. No, no, not this is not the approach. First you have to read what? Documentation. Always first read what? Documentation. If I click on this, did they give documentation? Yes. You have to understand this and you have to pass what? So this is little complex, not complex, this is little lengthy. So I'll do it from my end, I'll do it. Then based on this only, we have a concept of, what? One second. Yeah, we have a concept of what? BAPI extension. So tomorrow what we'll do is, we'll discuss this BAPI function model. We'll try to create the sales order by using what? This particular BAPI. And then what we'll do is, based on this example only, we'll try to discuss what BAPI extension. BAPI extension is what? How to pass data for additional fields. In every project, what are the tables given by SAP may not match the customer requirement as it is. Suppose if you take this VBAQ table, or if you take MARA table only, how many fields SAP has given? 257 fields. Okay, but according to my customer requirement, I want some two additional fields. So what we'll do? We'll add what? Two additional fields in the table now. How do you pass the data for those two additional fields? In this table, we'll assume that we have added what? Two additional fields. Then how do you maintain data for those two additional fields? Anyone? Append structure is for adding the fields. Assume that now we got what? 259 fields. We got 259 fields. Okay. In this 259, 257 are given by whom? SAP, and two are what? Additional fields. What is the purpose of adding additional fields? What is the purpose of additional fields? Yeah, everything is client requirement, but what? Huh? Sorry? Everything what we are doing is client requirement only, na? Huh? But why we have to add additional fields? Correct. So what? Correct. What you said is correct, but elaborate it. Okay, I'll give a different example. Suppose we have some XYZ institute in Amirpet. Okay, you want to do a course in that institute. When you go for inquiry, you will fill up the inquiry form. Na? What are the fields you'll have? Course name, student name, then what? Mobile number, mobile number, and what else? Might be what? Email. So you take n number of institute Amirpet. These are common fields. Na? Okay. Now you take Gensoft. Okay, you take Gensoft. So in this Gensoft, we will have what? This four fields. Then what we have done? We have added some additional fields. What is that? Reference name and what? Reference name, mobile number. With whose reference you came for inquiry. Yes or no? So these are what? Additional fields related to our business. Na? Why we have given this? For decoration? Huh? No, no. Why? Huh? To capture the reference names, to capture the reference mobile numbers with whose reference that inquiry has came. So the purpose of additional fields is what? To capture additional data. To capture additional data which is specific to what? Customer. Which is specific to, because not every institute may have these fields. Huh? So this is specific to what? Gensoft. So my question is, okay, we have added additional fields in the table for capturing what? Additional data. What are the different ways where we supply the data for those two additional fields? Anyone? Sorry? Sorry? Fixed? What is that? I don't know. What is that? I don't know. What is that? Fixed value? Yes. Oh, you are talking about domain level fixed values. I am not talking domain level. In the table, I have added additional fields. What is the purpose of adding additional fields? To capture additional data. What are the different ways where we pass the data for those additional fields? Using? Views in the sense? Huh? No? Okay, I'll put it in another way. This is the table related to Mara. Na? What is the T code behind Mara table? MM01. Yes or no? So this is my MM01 T code. Okay. In this MM01 transaction, you'll have many screens. Huh? In all those screens, you'll have how many fields? 257 fields. Yes or no? You'll have 257 fields. What you will do? These 257 fields are not sufficient. So what I'll do? On behalf of my customer, I will add what? Additional fields on my MM01. Why we are adding additional fields on this standard transaction? To capture what? Additional data. So one way is by enhancing what? By enhancing the transaction, by enhancing the screen. Another way is through BAPI. Another way is what? Through BAPI. Means there is a parameter what? Extension is through this parameter will pass the data for what? Additional fields which we have added in the standard table. So there are two ways of what? Not two ways. There are three ways of what? Passing the data to what? Additional fields. One is through what? Screen. Another is through BAPI. Another is through IDOC. When we go to IDOC, we'll pass it through what? IDOC also. Understood? So tomorrow we'll see this BAPI and we'll see how to extend the standard BAPIs. Done? Any questions for today? Right? Shall wind up. We'll continue tomorrow.